Hey, good morning. We are here for our monthly get-together with Georgetown's Main Street Director, Mr. Al Joseph. The month of June is here, and a lot of stuff coming up this month. And of course, we've got the 4th of July coming up. We're going to talk about all of that. First of all, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Scott. I think summer's here.
Summer is here. It's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah, we got spoiled this past weekend. The humidity was low. The temperatures were down a little bit, but that was the last hurrah for spring, I think.
That was it. We'll see it again in October.
But that's good because we've got all kinds of things coming up in June. But I do want to talk about some things that happened so far. The big thing that's happened so far to kick off the summer season was the Music in the Park with the Band of Oz. That was a big concert.
That was huge. I got to tell you, that had to be one of the best I think I've ever seen. The crowd was amazing. We had 4 vendors out there, food vendors, and slushy and lemonade. It was just really fantastic. The weather was perfect.
That's what I was talking about. It was actually kind of cool.
It was.
With the low humidity.
It was fantastic. And the Band of Oz, they always bring it. They always bring it, and they did a great job. They really got the crowd into it, and it was just a great night.
And that's one of the bands that's been here most of the years that this has been going on. Yeah, and so is the Tams. The Tams have been here most of the years. I know a couple of times they had to go into the Winyah Auditorium because of rain. But they still put on a great performance, and they're going to be here July 5th.
July 5th, the 4th. This is the 1 month of the series that we're doing it on Friday. Everybody needs to remember that. Music in the Park this year is on Saturday nights, except for the Tams. That's going to be on Friday night. We're praying for good weather. Maybe we'll somehow get a little bit of a cool snap, but no matter what, as long as it's not raining, people are going to be out there and having a good time.
Especially with the Tams now, because the lead singer, he gets out there in the middle of the crowd, jumps on tables, climbs walls. I mean, he's just probably the most energetic of all the singers we get throughout the year.
He is definitely.
Yeah, and you say you remember him when he was a small child.
I do. I remember
with his dad.
Going to see the Tams when his dad was the leader of the Tams, and he was out there on stage doing the same thing he's doing today. I mean, the same stuff and just all the energy and getting out there in the crowd, and really is just amazing.
Well, that's going to be a great time, and of course we've got another one in August and September, if I'm not mistaken.
And September. Okay. We've got Winyah coming up in August, which is, for those that don't know, really, really great band. A lot of local guys. I think they're out of Charleston now, but these are guys that are from Georgetown and Pawleys Island, and they've done very well. They've really got a huge following, so we're looking forward to that. And then I cannot remember the name of the last concert in September, but it's country music star that is actually also from Georgetown. So we got a lot of local ties coming in the last 2 concerts of the season.
Well, that's going to be great. Now, let's talk about some stuff coming up a little closer than the 5th of July. We've got it's called the Wine and Walk.
Art and Wine Walk.
Art Wine and Walk.
Yeah, Art and Wine Walk on the 15th and the 16th of June coming up. We have been in the planning stages of that. I think we had our first planning meeting, if I remember correctly, in February. So as I've said before, people don't realize just what goes into putting these events on, like the Food, Beer, and Wine Festival, the Art and Wine Walk. It takes months of planning. We still need volunteers for that one. We really could use some volunteers, and if anyone is interested in volunteering for the Art and Wine Walk, all you have to do is go to the website, Art and Wine Walk Georgetown, and click on volunteers, and everything comes up. Whatever slot is available for those 2 days, you pick what you want and sign up.
So for those who can't get to the website right now, maybe, which I can't figure out if they're watching online, but anyway, what are some of the slots that need to be filled with volunteers?
We need some ambassadors. We have art that's going to be in a lot of the businesses, and we need people in those businesses during the times that they're open to be able to discuss the art, tell people about it, give information. We need people at our information tent. We need some ambassadors that are going to be out on the street, walking around, passing out programs, answering questions for people. Other than actually pouring wine on Saturday night, we have that's full, so not surprising. We're full on that, but just about everything else, we have some slots left for multiple areas for volunteers.
So kind of explain, the last big event we had was the food festival, a month or so ago. What's the difference between that and what we're going to see with this event? What's going to be happening?
Well, the Food, Beer, and Wine Festival is really just that. It is focused on food. We had 21 restaurants on Front Street. We had multiple wineries. We had multiple breweries here. We had representatives from those, and that's really the focus. The focus on this is art. We're going to have art all over Front Street in 26 businesses, I believe was the last number that I heard. I think we have 13 or 14 businesses that are going to participate in the Wine Walk Saturday night. We're going to have vendors and art out in the parks, both Rainey Park and Francis Marion Park. The galleries will be open. We're going to have event spaces, 3 different event spaces, larger event spaces that are going on. There's a juried art show. And for those of you that aren't familiar with that, that is big time. If it's a juried show, we had 171 entries into the juried show. And those 171 entries were sent to the jury, to the judges, 2 weeks ago. And they've narrowed it down, the last I heard, to about 65, and I don't know what that number will get down to. And we will award winners and cash prizes, monetary prizes. So if anyone's familiar with Art Fields in Lake City, think Art Fields on a little bit of a smaller scale, but we're only year 2, so we're going to keep growing.
And the artists, are they all from here? Are they from all over the place?
They're from all over, but majority of local artists. Local being, the Georgetown, maybe Pawleys Island area. But yeah, local artists, folks that we all know, and we see them all the time. So we want to make sure there's a big local bent to it, and there is. Deb Smith and Alan Sherlock from Art Harbor are really this was their brainchild. They are the driving force behind it. Of course, it's sponsored by the Georgetown Business Association. It's a fabulous event. We were, as I've said many, many times, we were blown away last year in the first event. Usually a first event, maybe not so great, takes you a little bit to get your legs under you. That wasn't the case with the Art and Wine Walk last year. It was huge. It was a wonderful success. It was voted best art event in our first year.
Wow.
And this year's going to be even bigger and better.
And compared to last year, how many more artists do you have this year?
I don't know the number, but I know that it is a significant amount more than we had last year. We had to turn people away for the jury show because there's a certain number and you can't exceed a certain number and still be able to logistically make it work. But we have more businesses that are participating, more businesses that have said, yes, please come put art in our businesses. We have more restaurants and doing the same thing. And we have more businesses that are doing the Wine Walk on Saturday as well.
And the dates for that one more time?
June 15th and 16th.
And also on June 15th, our next topic, there's going to be a parade that day, not associated with that event, but we've got the Juneteenth parade coming up, and that's going to be on Merriman Road from the Beck Education Center on Church Street, turning down Merriman Road, going to the Howard Center.
Yes.
That's going to be a pretty big event too.
Always is. Every year. The parade is always terrific, and the event at Howard afterwards is always huge. They get a big turnout there, great food, great fellowship. People just having a wonderful time and celebrating Juneteenth and what Juneteenth means. So we got to pray for good weather for all these events. That's the thing. People, I talk about it all the time. We can plan them, and we are going to have it. The Art and Wine Walk, the Food, Beer, and Wine Festival, Music in the Park, Juneteenth Parade. The planning is there. Weather is the only thing we can't control.
Right. Well, Ed Pietrowski, you got to come through for us.
That's right. I'll be texting. I can promise you I'll be texting with Ed.
And make sure it happens. Let's look ahead to the rest of the summer. We've got the 4th of July, but probably before we do our next interview for July, the 4th of July will happen. We talk about what's happening on the 5th with the TAMs. We've got the big fireworks display coming up the 4th of July.
Got the big fireworks display, always a big favorite in Georgetown. Get people coming from all over that come here to see the fireworks. They do a terrific job every year. Looking forward to that. That's just always, it's a whole day. It's a whole day. You don't just come for the fireworks. You come and you spend all day on Front Street, and you walk around and you go in the shops and you go in our museums and take a tour, have lunch, and then go have some dinner and then watch the fireworks. So it's just a full day for families.
Right. And people always ask the best place to watch. Of course, the Harbor Walk Boardwalk is probably the best place. But if you can't get there, I think you can go to East Bay Park.
East Bay is always packed.
Yeah.
Just finding parking in East Bay on the 4th of July is tough because that's where most people go. Harbor Walk's my favorite. That's where I like to go if you can get a spot. Morgan Park. A lot of people I've heard that go down to Morgan Park and out at East Bay Landing as well.
So let me ask you this about the rest of June. You've got a big unveiling coming up at Rainey Park.
We do. That is something that just we're so proud of. Been working on this for about 3 months. The Georgetown County Republican Party has commissioned a plaque for Joseph Hayne Rainey. As I've said before, we've got the plaque. It's been delivered to Public Works. City of Georgetown Public Works is going to install it for us. On June 21st at 5 o'clock, we're going to have a wonderful ceremony for the unveiling of that plaque. We've got a lot of local dignitaries. We've invited the governor. We've invited our state delegation. We've invited our federal delegation. Of course, a lot of dignitaries in Georgetown are being invited. We will also have the great-great-granddaughter of Joseph Rainey, Ms. Lorna Rainey, will be here, and she will speak at the ceremony. So we're really excited about that one. Someone like that, Congressman Rainey, deserves all the recognition and respect we can give him, and this plaque is just another way to do so.
And that's what date again?
June 21st at 5 o'clock.
5 p.m.
And June 21st is his birthday.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's why we're doing it on that
And
day.
the first day of summer, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, wow, cool.
We will have a big tent out there. So
I didn't know you timed it for his birthday. Well, that is good.
yeah, that was the reason for that, to do it on his birthday.
Well, now I know you attended a big event on Wednesday night, something people have been waiting for a while. They still got to wait a few more days before they can go, but you were there Wednesday night at the big soft opening for Frank's on Front Street.
Yeah, Frank's on Front did a soft opening invitation thing on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. They actually did it for 2 nights. And I wish I could describe it. All I can say is when Frank's opens their doors, you got to go, because everything, the ambiance, the service, the food, just everything about it is first class all the way. I mean, the food was fantastic. Everything about it was fantastic.
Now, of course, people may be familiar with Frank's and Pawleys Island. Compared to that, what is this menu like? Is it the same, or are there differences?
There's going to be differences. Now, the menu, I believe, for last night and Tuesday night were more of a limited menu, since it was an invitation-only thing and a soft opening. So I haven't seen the actual full menu, but they have said that it will be different from the one in Frank's. There'll be some similarities, but it will not be the same menu.
And so opening to the public, we're not exactly sure, but you don't think it's long?
I think next week.
Next week?
Next week, they're going to open, and they're going to be open for lunch.
Okay.
So, yeah, another lunch spot to go to in Georgetown on Front Street.
Okay, besides that, we've got some other businesses. I know one that's opened since our last conversation is in the 900 block of Front Street. Tell us about that.
Yep, that's another Pawleys Island business that has decided to open a second location in Georgetown. I think that's 5 or 6 that are doing that, which to me says a lot by itself. But Georgie Girl is open on the 900 block of Front Street. Went in there Saturday. I've been in there 2 or 3 times now, but went in there Saturday for the first time. They opened this past Saturday. I am amazed at what they've done and how quickly they did it and how beautiful the store is. I mean, it really is something special. If you haven't been into Georgie Girl, make plans.
And what do they specialize in?
It's ladies' apparel and shoes. And they also have an event space in the back. They will have an event space in the back that will be able to be rented. And I saw that too. It looks great. But it's a little different than anything else we've seen. We say that a lot. Frank's is going to be different than pretty much anything else we have. Georgie Girl is just also a little bit different. It's just what they've done in there really is gorgeous. They've done a great job with it. Sandy and her team have done a wonderful job.
One of the businesses I know we got Get Carried Away on Scriven Street. They're going to open sometime soon.
Got their sign up.
Yep.
Got their sign up there, so we hope that's happening soon. We also have Sea Gypsy, another Pawleys Island business. It's opening another location in Georgetown. That's in the old Sweetgrass Spa building on Front Street in the 900 block. That, I think we're going to see them open July, maybe August at the latest, but I think July right now is the target. They're working hard in there, and they've already applied for and filed all their permits with the city. And usually when that happens, that's when you see it move forward quickly.
And Sea Gypsy, what do they specialize in?
I believe that's a ladies' boutique as well.
So yeah, besides the Sea Gypsy and the ones you mentioned, we've got a brewery about to open, right?
That's, you know what, I talked to Trevor yesterday, as a matter of fact, and it sounds like that's getting really, really close. That has been wildly anticipated for quite a long time. People say, well, God, it's taken a long time to open that. Well, you don't know the difficulties in opening something like that. I mean, that's not, you're not just, putting in some racks and hanging some clothes on racks and things like that, not to diminish anything else. But this is a big deal There's a lot of logistics and a lot of organization to put this together, but everybody's been looking forward to it, and I think we're going to see that in pretty soon, in the coming weeks.
So we've got that space on the on Front Street, the open space that used to be the Tuscany Bistro, but it's still an open space. Any new plans for that?
Nothing yet. The same folks that have Frank's on Front, 631 Front, have bought that as well. Structurally, it was not able to be salvaged, which is why the building was torn down. It's going to be used as kind of a green space, I think, for a while until they make a determination of what they're going to do with it. We are, and I got to thank Leldon and Sam, the owners of Frank's on Front. They gave us permission to use that space as part of our Art and Wine Walk, and we have got some really cool things that are going to be in there. I really think that's going to be the focal point of it, because I'm not going to give it away. You're going to have to see it on June 15th and 16th, but that open space is going to be transformed for the Art and Wine Walk, and we thank them for allowing us to use that property for those 2 days.
All right. So what else do we need to hit on this month? I mean, anything that you want to talk about?
Man, there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
I mean, Music in the Park was a huge hit. We got the TAMs coming, as we've said. These businesses that are continuing to open and open and open in our historic business district. You know, Georgetown is just rocking. It is exploding, and we're so happy about that. And Scott, I got to tell you, one of the things that I think people aren't realizing, for years and years, we've all heard it. You know, people from Pawleys don't come to Georgetown. Mm-hmm. People from Georgetown, I don't know about this. I don't think I agree with this, but people in Georgetown don't go to Pawleys. Well, we've got 5 Pawleys Island businesses that have thought enough of Georgetown to open a second location. None of them closed in Pawleys and opened here. These are second locations for all of these businesses. These are successful, established businesses in Pawleys Island that have said, we got to go check Georgetown out. We got to open another business there. And to me, I think that speaks volumes for what we're doing.
Yeah, because for a while we saw the opposite, especially with car dealerships. Mm-hmm. You know, leaving Georgetown, going to Pawleys or Merle's Inlet or Litchfield, wherever. And we didn't see much of businesses coming the other direction here. Why do you think it's happening all of a sudden, you know, in the past couple of years?
Because Georgetown has arrived. You know, for years and years, the thing that I hated to hear, I hated it. Georgetown's on the cusp, right there on the edge. Well, I never quite believed that, because I always thought we were moving forward. But if there is any truth to that, then we're not on the cusp anymore. We're not on the edge. We have gone over. You know, we're not a secret anymore. People know about Georgetown. They realize everything we have to offer, and they're realizing that this is a place they need to come to.
Mm-hmm. Well, very good. Any closing remarks?
Nope. Just, you know, stay cool, stay hydrated, because we know what it's like. We know what summer in Georgetown and South Carolina is like, and I think it's here. We're not going to get a break again for a while, but keep up on Gab News, keep up on Main Street Georgetown SC, and keep up on Discover Georgetown. Those 3 Facebook pages. If you follow those 3 pages, you're going to know what's going on in Georgetown. Everything. You're going to hear it all.